I'm Joe Chile. You can listen to me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck Buffalo on the Rise is Brian McFadden. Brian is with the Ellicottville Chamber of Commerce. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Wonderful to be here.
Great to have you. I gotta tell you, I've been to Ellicottville a number of times. I guess most people are familiar with Ellicottville in the winter, but I've been there for other events, but the winter is beautiful. I mean, you guys shine.
Well, it's skiing that made Ellicottville, face it.
Right.
That's our rock, Holly Valley and Hollymont. But our summer times now, actually bigger than our winters.
Really?
Well, first of all, it's a longer period. You got 8 months of green versus 4 months of white. But summers are amazing in Ellicottville.
Well, I think you probably need that after a winter like we had this year. We only had a couple of weeks that were disastrous. The rest of the time, I think temperatures were above normal, but there's still things to do, and there's plenty of places to eat. I found some great restaurants down there, so I mean, which I really enjoyed. Tell us about the Summer Music Festival that's going on this year.
Yeah, that's our most anticipated event of the year. You've all heard of Fall Festival, of course, and it's been what it is for 50 years. Summer Music Festival brings people back early summer to 2 big concerts up at Holly Valley. We've got One Vision of Queen with Mark Martel this year, is our lead rock show. And Mark was chosen by the leaders and founders of Queen to be the headliner of this show.
Really?
And he was actually, his voice was used on the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. So this guy is amazing, so we're pretty excited. And then the next night every year we do the Buffalo Philharmonic. And those are staples of ours.
Now, do people come by, do they come specifically for the event? Do they like to make it a weekend? What do generally people do when they come to these?
They usually make it a weekend.
Do they?
Because we keep our tickets affordable. We're a family community. Kids under 12 are free. Here's the kicker. You can bring a cooler and a picnic basket to this concert.
Really?
I'm not sure you can do that to any other concert I know of in Western New York that's a ticketed concert. And never, ever once in the 25 years I've been running it is there any garbage left over. People are so respectful.
And this is all outdoors?
All outdoors, on the first fairway of Holly Valley's golf course.
So that's where the event actually takes place every year?
Correct, at Holly Valley on the fairway, yeah.
It's amazing to me that you don't have to police it afterwards. Meaning the fact, I don't mean like policing, but I mean picking up all the materials, you know what I mean? After the fact.
I stand on the stage with the president of Holly Valley afterwards, we start laughing. If we see a pile of garbage, what looks like garbage, it's usually a pile of ice. There's nothing left there. We have respectful customers. It's wonderful. It's a great event.
So tell me about some of the other events that go on, other than just, and some of them can be events in the winter because it's very picturesque.
Oh, it is.
But, tell us about some of the things that go on.
Well, we've got Par for a Cure, a golf tournament coming up soon in May in partnership with the 11-day Power Play. We've got the Holly Valley Half Marathon, Happy Half it's called, in May. We've also got a mudslide where your kids go up on the hill and run through mud and climb over trees and slide down the mountain into a mud hole. So there's lots going on in the spring.
My kids, would have done that. Now my kids are, 33 and 38. So I hope they're not still doing that.
I say kids. Some of them are our age.
Really?
No, it's not just kids. It's everybody.
Yeah, that's great. And there are things for kids of all ages, or I should say, people of all ages to do, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Holly Valley built the Sky High Adventure Park a few years ago. Zip lining, mountain coasters. Hollymont, just in the last 4 or 5 years, have built an amazing mountain biking park.
Really?
And that's wonderful over there. It's fun to see grandpas there with their grandchildren mountain biking.
I got to ask you a question here. Have you ever zip-lined?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother you?
You can do it. It's easy.
Really?
I just don't want to climb a tree. They have tree climbing. Don't climb a tree. That's hard.
Hug a tree.
Yeah.
Don't climb a tree. But zip-lining, and was it a challenge for somebody to get you to zip-line, or did you?
No. There's all different levels.
Really?
Yeah, you can go the commando route or you can go the beginner route.
I hope the commando route doesn't mean you're ziplining in the nude.
Yeah. And the mountain coaster there is amazing too. There's a roller coaster that goes up the hill and down through the trees and over the creeks. And
now I've missed that. I mean, that is something that that I really like to see. So it is something for all ages.
Everything.
That's pretty amazing, and it's a great destination. Tell us some of the things. People come down on the weekends. Does it fill up quickly? Do they have to make reservations quite in advance? Or?
You should make reservations, but you don't necessarily have to. We're not packed every weekend. We can sleep like 9,000 people. with our condos and hotels. But it should do if you want to be close to the village. You know, it's a 4-block community. There's so much going on in the community. It's nice to be able to walk.
It's a 4-block community?
4-block
Really?
community.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Isn't it?
And there are people that live down there year round. I mean, you know, they're palatial, I don't want to say estates, but I don't know what you refer to them as. But it's just, you know, you think of people living, you know, in the Niagara region or whatever, but Ellicottville is a great place.
It is, and it's very cosmopolitan. You'd think you're a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere. The village has 290 residents, the whole township 1,600. But 3/4 of our homeowners are from out of town. They come back every Friday night from work, whether it's Cleveland or Pittsburgh or Washington, Boston, and you're talking to people sitting next to you who are telling you stories that it's exciting. So it's very cosmopolitan there. With a local flavor, though, too. All of our stores are locally owned.
So do you have an idea of where most of the people that visit you come from?
Most of them come from Western New York still.
Still from Western,
But next
okay.
to that would be Canada
Okay.
and Ohio, rest of New York State.
So if people want to find out more information, want to see a website or whatever, what should they do?
We have an amazing website that's updated almost daily, Ellicottville, NY-like-New-York.com. Everything's on there you need to know.
Lots of great things coming up. And the date again for the Summer Music Festival?
July 5th to 7th.
July 5th to 7th.
Yep.
All right,
You can
great.
buy tickets online.
Thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
For more information and answers to your questions, contact Ellicottville Chamber by calling 716-699-5046 or go to ellicottvilleny.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following.